All right, everybody. Y'all asked for it, so here it is. Cutter cooks again. Since all you airsofters seem to be foodies too and want some easy meals to make, it looks like there's a lot here, but believe it or not, this goes together pretty well. And there's going to be a secret ingredient that goes on the asparagus. It's going to make you question things, but you'd be surprised. All right, and I'm going to put all this together step by step. We got potatoes, mushrooms with the steak. We got some red onions, some red bell pepper. We got some paprika, black pepper, olive oil, some Worcestershire sauce, beef stock, butter, garlic, and cornstarch. And I will show you how to use all of that. All right. So the first step is we're going to get the potatoes ready and preheat the oven. Be right back. All right, onto the meat. I've already taken the time to trim off all the silver skin and stuff that doesn't render down very well. But you see all this intermuscular fat in here is all going to render down and turn this into basically the most tender beef you've ever seen. All right, now the prep is real simple. All right, we're going to start with just, again, a little bit of cracked pepper, just a little bit, just a little on each one. And we'll put a little more once we put them pan side down. But we're just going to have this sit, let these flavors marry for a little bit. And what's going to help that is the salt. Don't be afraid of salt. You think it's a lot, it's not. Trust me. These are sirloin tips I got at my local supermarket. About a little less than $15, I think it was. Salt them up. Okay. And then also, I like to put a little paprika on mine. It makes a little mess. That's all right. Okay, now that's it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to set these aside on a plate. Don't worry, I wash my hands after every stage. Keep your areas clean, no cross-contamination. All right, and we're just going to set those aside, and we're going to let those rest and let that salt drag that flavor into the meat while we prep everything else. I'm going to wash this cutting board and come back and take care of our vegetables. All right, quick little part about the vegetables. Basically, cut off what you need, put the rest in a Ziploc bag. Pretty simple. Quarter-inch strips, quarter-inch cubes. Take the onion, after you half it, like that. See those lines? Cut it this way, and then you cut it this way, and you get natural cube-sized pieces. Isn't that cool? Okay, so there's the vegetables. Now let's move on. Next thing we'll have is we're also mixing that with the mushrooms, and we're all doing that in a cast iron skillet. And I got the lid because this is going to be going back in the oven for a little bit with the potatoes once we put the cheese on. So many steps. Working towards it. All right, mixture of 3 little pats of butter and olive oil, and we're going to cook the meat first. Because then after we take the meat out, put it back on the plate to rest for a little bit, that's when we put our vegetables in, back with all that goodness that's in there. So we'll get to that in a minute. All right, when that butter gets to that stage, where it's all bubbling and getting rid of all the actual excess moisture in the butter, then we're going to take our meat. Try not to crowd your pan if you can. Now, I'm making this for 2 people. This is just for me and Mrs. Cutter. But if you wanted to make this for 4 people, well, then double it. Your choice of meat can be different. If you choose to use white onions or you don't like peppers, that's fine. But the base sauce that this will be in, and it will be going over the potatoes and with the asparagus, is just going to be fantastic. So we're going to let those cook for a couple minutes on that side. And then we're going to flip them over to the side with all the spices. Actually, that's the side I should put down first. Anyway, they'll still turn out all right. These have been cooking a couple minutes. As you can see, I flipped them and put the spices on the other side. These have been cooking a couple minutes. There you go. Oh, yeah. I wish you could smell this because it's fantastic. Like that. Like that. Alright. Let those go another couple minutes. And we'll take a look at the other side. Alright. Doing good. Doing good. By the way, this is on medium. Not everything has to be cranked up to high. Just let stuff cook. Just look at that. You get that nice Maillard effect, that's what it's called. You get that crust on there. And it just smells amazing. Okay. We're just going to let these sit for another minute on that other side, and then I'm going to take these off, and then I'm going to show you what we're doing with it. That's cooking. We're now going to take our Mirablog vegetables here. Add that all in there. Get that mixed out. Turn this down a little bit. Medium low. Not going to take long for these to sweat down. Steam. There. And that picks up all that steaky goodness. Once those cook down a little bit, we're going to add some more garlic to that. And again, you can add more if you like. That's not a big deal. And again, I have small portions here, but I'm only making 2. I'm only making enough for 2 people here. Oh, God, it smells delicious. Okay. That there. Make sure to season along the way. When you hear chefs and cooking shows saying there's not enough seasoning, they mean salt and pepper. So, salt as you go. All right. Now that that's cooked down nice, now we come in with all these mushrooms. The mushrooms will absorb the rest of this. Maybe add just a touch more olive oil to that. And we'll get this mixed around. And I'll show you what we're doing next after this cooks for a little while. Okay, we got our mushrooms cooked down. They're nice and soft. Alright, now I'm just going to make a little steam that you got to put in the wash your sister sauce. Nobody can say it that. Okay, a little bit of that in. And then we'll put in our beef stock. What about covers the mushrooms? Okay, just enough. And the mushrooms are going to be our base because we don't want the bottom of our steak to burn. Because now I'm going to transfer these on top of our mushrooms, just like that. And if you think I'm wasting the sauce in the bottom of that plate, you're nuts. Okay. Again, try not to crowd them. Dump all that deliciousness back in. Don't let any of that go to waste. All right, we are going to slap the lid on this. It's in a 350-degree oven. There's our roasting away potatoes. I'm going to take those out now. This pan goes in the 350-degree oven for another 35 to 45 minutes. I'll get the potatoes out and I'll show you what we're doing with those. Okay, as you can see, I've cut all the potatoes in half and laid them cut side down. Now we're just going to take some Parmesan cheese and sprinkle those all over the top and in between. This is going to make one of those crusts that's just unbelievable. This will cook all around the potatoes, all on the potatoes. And you can add more or as little cheese as you like. I mean, don't go too crazy. You don't want to burn it. The oven is at 350. That's not super hot, but it is hot enough to ruin your meal. All right, so we're going to whack that back in the oven with the beef and the mushrooms and the vegetables, and we'll see what that looks like in about half an hour. All right, got my pan nice and hot here. Got my asparagus. Got a few minutes left in the oven for the potatoes and the meat. So we're going to use this fancy little grill pan I have here. I just put a little bit of olive oil on. And of course, I'm going to add a little bit of salt to this asparagus. And again, have it on medium. Doesn't need to be whacked on, flaming hot. All right, here's the thing that's going to freak you out. Just a little bit of sugar We tried. My wife and I saw this on a cooking show years ago. Decided to try it one night, and yeah, you'll be surprised. Okay, I'm going to keep this turning. I have to get too cooked on one side. And then to make sure it gets all the way cooked, I'm going to cover it, toss a little water in there, let it steam. But we're gonna get to grilling these, and that's our vegetable. So be back. Right, there's the beef out of the oven. Still boiling in that pan, which is fine because I actually have the burner on low. I'll show you why in a second. There's our potatoes all out, all cheesy. Asparagus steaming underneath the lid. Splash a little water underneath there, cover it with the lid, make sure it's steaming to get them going. And then in this bowl, I mixed a teaspoon of cornstarch with a couple teaspoons of water. What we're going to do is we're going to take these steaks out now. Little hunks of falling apart meat. And we don't want to let all that go to waste. So we're going to take this, it's called a slurry. Cornstarch is going to thicken everything in there because it's at a boil. You mix that in, and that's how you get really good gravy. We're just going to let that boil for a little bit, and that will actually thicken. See those golden beads on top? That's the butter. Okay. We're going to let that go for a little bit, and then we're going to plate all this up. I'll show you what a plating of this looks like. Oh, again, wish you could smell it. All right, we're all plated up. We got a nice ladle of our mushrooms, peppers, onions, garlic, gravy over that. See if we can't see a little more of the. Oh, there it is. That's it. Oh. Alrighty. Well, that's my dinner, folks. So you saw how to cook it. Go to the store. Buy the stuff. Make it. Learn to cook. Your tongue will thank you. Cutter, out.